Hey, what's up guys, it's Kazooie here, and welcome to another FIFA 20 squad builder. I actually haven't done one of these in quite some time. And with FUT birthday in full swing, I thought it would be a great moment to make a skill squad for you guys and show you guys the team and the highlights basically. I've gone with a full skill team, to be exact, a team of 9 5-star skillers. I could have gone with 10, but then I believe the 2 defenders would have most likely been on low chemistry. And that's something that I did not want to happen. Everyone is on full chemistry. And yeah, we're diving right into it. So the formation I've gone with is the 4-3-3 attack. It's my favorite formation in the game. I've been using it since the start. I sometimes switch to the 4-2-3-1. But I feel that formation specifically is too defensive for my playstyle. I sometimes switch to the 4-4-2, 4-2-2, but this one is the one I usually start off with. Anyway, we start off in goal with Edwin van der Sar, who was my icon pick in Icon Swaps 2. He's a very popular goalkeeper in FIFA 20. I do believe he was very popular in FIFA 19 as well. And yeah, so far he's been class for me. Very good, 6'6". Has some pretty good looking stats, and all in all, I think one of the better goalkeepers in the game. Even though I must say, goalkeepers are a little bit suspect this year, I feel that Van der Sar is very good, especially because he's 6'6", and yeah, he's Dutch, you know, I like him, and yeah, for me anyway, one of the better goalkeepers in the game. Then next up, we do have another icon in Ronald Koeman, who was my icon swaps pick in, I think, Icon Swaps 1. Played 330 games with him, scored 19 goals, 26 assists. I can't recall if I saved all the goals with him, because I did score a couple penalties, some free kicks, and just some goals where he just got the ball, rushed forward, and shot on goal, basically. His 86 shot power is definitely something you do notice in-game. It's very, very good. And the thing I always kind of hate with midfielders, especially that are in the team for the defensive kind of work, and also center backs, is that they lack shooting. Because I've said it in some videos that whenever I get a corner and the ball kind of drops off to the box, I always seem to get the ball with a player who's not able to shoot, basically. And Koeman has been in that position a few times, and luckily he does have very good shooting. And yeah, managed to score a couple goals with him. That way you can see 97 shot power, which is very good. 92 long shots, even though long shots in this game aren't really what they used to be. But yeah, all in all, very good player in my eyes. Then on to the right back, we do have the first 5-star skiller in the team. From this point onwards, we basically only show you guys 5-star skillers. We've got Cancelo, played 70 games with him already. Only got 1 assist. I did co on a couple skill runs. You will see some clips of him doing multiple skill runs and me trying to score some goals with him. If we take a look at his in-game stats, he has 85 stand tackling, 85 slide tackling as well, 99 stamina, which is obviously very good too. Only 67 strength, but to me anyway, he feels kind of strong on the ball. He's able to push players like Mbappe, Neymar, which aren't as strong as two, but yeah, he's able to catch up with them quite easily and also push them off the ball, which is nice. All in all, stats are very, very good too for a right back. And yeah, since he has 5-star skill moves now, he's probably going to be my kind of main right back for the whole year, unless they release like another player with 5-star skills as a right back. Then on to the next center back. You've probably already seen him pop up. Lucas Hernandez, the second center back in the game who has 5-star skill moves. High attacking, high defensive work rates. I believe he was also a very popular center back right at the start. I do believe he has a once to watch as well. Yeah, also with him, just like with Cancelo, surprised me a lot. 85 pace, 88 defending, 86 physical. Very, very good player. And yeah, like I said, he surprised me. He felt very good on the ball. Only downside with him is when you go on a skill run, which you should never do with a center back. 74 agility, 72 balance. It honestly feels like in the 40s. And that's, I think, especially because of the dribbling. I do see 84 ball control, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, because sometimes when I do skill moves with him, I just lose the ball instantly, even after one skill move, like the Balassi flick or something. Like, he loses the ball straight away, which is a little bit annoying. I wish EA kind of boosted it up to even it out with the 5-star skill moves, but, you know, it's fun to at least have a defender, a center back, that has 5 stars, so I can't really complain. He's also very Very fast. 85 pace feels a lot more, even with the cam style. I think the anchor that I'm using, I think it's up there somewhere in the 90s. I'm not fully sure. But yeah, very good player in my eyes. Definitely one that I would recommend, even though if you're not into using skillers. Then on to the left back, we have another French player in Mavi. This is a player that I think today actually expired in terms of the SBC. I really wanted to make a video about him earlier, but I just couldn't do it because I, one, did not have enough players at the time he got released, so I had to wait a couple days. And of course, I didn't want to rush things, and I wanted to show you guys some actual good gameplay with some of the players. So yeah, instead of like playing maybe 5 games or something and barely showing any highlights, I thought I would spread it across multiple days and yeah, hopefully get some cool clips for you guys to show. I did have one very sick skill run with him where I penned my opponent with a fake drag back, but I can't seem to find it on my PC anymore. Hopefully I can find it again and put it into the editing software once I'm done recording. But yeah, anyway, also a very good player in my eyes. Amavi is definitely a player you can use in multiple positions. As a left back, he's very good. As a CDM especially, he's really good too. Looking at his in-game stats, 87 stand tackling, 91 slide tackling, 91 stamina, which is very good if you use him as a CDM, so you don't drain his stamina basically. 80 strength, which is decent as well, and then also 88 agility and 90 balance, which you definitely notice when you go on skill runs with him. He is definitely one of the players I noticed that you can easily score goals with, even though if you look at his record, I haven't scored any goals. That's mainly because his shooting is not the greatest. He does have 87 shot power, but the finishing is definitely something you do notice in game. He's left-footed. I think I've had a couple shots with his right foot, but they just went sky high, even though he has 5-star weak foot. It's still a fun player to use, and if you were thinking of using him, I can only say like do him, even though the SBC is already expired. But I think that most of you guys that want to do it probably already got him. So yeah, I would definitely give him some time and maybe try him out in different positions. Then on to the midfielders. I'll try to go a little bit quicker with these players. The first one is going to be Paul Pogba. His regular version is still the only version you can use in the game. He played very good for me. Still a player that you can definitely use, and I think FUT champs. Only got 1 goal, but again, he's only a player that I kind of use in terms of the defensive kind of work. He doesn't go forward a lot, and when he goes forward, I do get the occasional skill run with him, but also, yeah, I wasn't able to score that many goals, unfortunately. Also, the in-game stats look very good. 87 stamina, 89 strength, 67 stand tackling, and 65 slide tackling, which feels a lot higher in-game. Whenever I use Pogba, basically, I've always used him as a CDM or just a controlling midfielder, not as a cam basically. And yeah, for me anyway, he's a very good player in terms of the defensive work. So yeah, definitely a player you guys should try out. And if he gets a 3rd birthday version, then I'll definitely pick that one up if it's affordable. Then onto the cam, we do have another regular gold in Pogba's teammate, which is going to be Marcus Rashford. I was looking at his FUT birthday version, but unfortunately it was just too expensive, and I just couldn't be arsed to sell like my other plays. Like I've got a few icons and also Ronaldo. If I sold them, I probably could have afforded the FUT birthday version, but I didn't really felt like doing it because yeah, I already spent some coins on some other players. And yeah, even though I did use his regular version, I kind of noticed that he wasn't one of the standout players, which is fair enough. I mean, if you look at the other players in the team, stats-wise and stuff, they obviously have to stand out compared to this one, and they definitely did. I think if you used Rashford at the start of the game, he was definitely one of the better players in your team, but right now you do kind of feel that he isn't as good as he probably should have been. 3 goals with him, 1 assist. I'm not fully sure if I scored any cool goals with him, but yeah, also his in-game stats do look decent for his base rating. Very pacey, of course. 82 shooting, 83 dribbling, and yeah, the balance is something you do notice in game when you go on skill runs with him. Then we move to the next CDM, probably one of my favorite center mids in the whole game, basically. Roberto Firmino, and I think I just played over 100 games with him. I did use his regular 87 in form, I think, which I think got released like a couple weeks ago or maybe months ago. And I used that version when he had 4-star skill moves, and then when he got upgraded to 5 stars. I really liked that one. And as soon as I like tested that one out, I instantly bought this screen version for 837k, which right now he probably doesn't really go for anymore. But yeah, in my eyes, it was definitely worth it. Definitely a player I will be sticking into every single team onwards, basically. As he has 5-star skill moves, and he has very good defensive stats as well. You can see 83 stand tackling, which in my eyes is the most important stat for a kind of CDM or controlling midfielder. Like, I barely do slide tackles, and when I do slide tackles with my players, they're mostly like the defenders, basically, like the fullbacks or the center backs. And yeah, Firmino anyway, very well-rounded, one of the best well-rounded players in the game. And definitely a player you guys should try out if you have not already. So then we move to the right winger, which is going to be a player which does have a FUT birthday version as well. That is going to be Alain Saint-Maximin. And you can see that he does need a contract. I did do his once to watch version when he came out. And I think at the time it was like 90k. And a lot of people said that you're stupid if you did him. And luckily it did pay out. Because right now he does have a man of the match and also an inform, which is a left mid. And yeah, I think that version currently goes for 190k or something. So yeah, all in all, it was definitely worth it. To me, this guy feels like no one else in the game. He just has that kind of special feel for some reason. I don't know what it is. Even with his 79 rated version, I felt that. And he's just so fast on the ball. His dribbling is on point as well. His shooting is a little bit suspect. You can see that I only scored 23 goals with him, 27 assists. But I've been mainly using him as a super sub. I think this is the only team that I actually used him as a actual starter. And I believe I played about 25 games with this team, with like all these players in this formation. And yeah, here you can see the stats: 96 acceleration, 96 sprint speed, 98 agility, 91 balance. And yeah, 95 dribbling as well. Very good player in this team. Definitely one that I would recommend to you guys. Of course, his FUT birthday looks insane too, but that one is very close to 1 million, so a little bit expensive for my liking. But who knows? I might try him out at some point. Then we move on to the striker. One of the players I've been using for, I guess, the majority of the game. Mbappe. One of my favorite players in the game, if not my favorite player. Played 619 games with him, 344 goals and 256 assists. You could say it's not the best record, but considering I'm mostly just trying to kind of mess around with skills and stuff, I think it's pretty decent. Also, incredible in-game stats, and I seriously cannot wait to try one of his informs. I had the luck last year. Last year I also used him like the whole year basically to pack his 90 rated inform or his 89 rated inform at the time. And that one got upgraded to 90. So yeah, Mbappe was one of the players I just wanted to get straight away when FIFA 20 dropped. And yeah, also a player I will be using for the majority of the game. I was thinking of maybe like selling him to maybe switch things up, maybe try some other players, but I always find a way to change my team up completely and just keep him and his teammate, who we will see in a second, in the team. And yeah, Neymar and Mbappe, of course, are one of the most used players in the games. But yeah, since they both have 5-star skill moves and they are that high rated, I feel that they're just one of the best players in the game for a reason, and I really enjoy playing with them as well. Yeah, as I said before, Neymar, my next player. I've played the most games with him out of all the players in my club, basically. I think I bought him at, I think, the start of the game too. 824 games. I'm not too sure how many games I've played this year. I think it's close to that amount. But yeah, 395 goals, 290 assists. Just an incredible player. I had my doubts at the beginning because I believe at the start of the year I said that Neymar was shit because he just couldn't score for me. And that was kind of the problem I had with him the first kind of weeks. But yeah, over time he became one of my favorites. He has been my favorite player for, I think, I don't know how many FIFA games. I think since FIFA 13 maybe. He was my favorite player up until FIFA 19. This year, it's probably either Mbappe or Ronaldo. But yeah, Neymar, fantastic player too. Also, his base version is just incredible. I think right now he currently goes for like 400k, 500k on Xbox. In-game stats are amazing too. Definitely a player you should pick up if you have the coins. And yeah, he's just insane, honestly. Having him and Mbappe up front is honestly one of the most cheatable duos you can have in your team. I would definitely recommend this team to you guys because I feel it is very well balanced, both in the defensive kind of work and also it has enough skillers. So if you like doing skill moves like me, I would definitely suggest making a similar team to this. Maybe make some changes to your liking. But yeah, it's definitely a team you can even use in FUT champs, which I might actually do at some point too. Because as I said, it is very well rounded. It has 2 CDMs for me, Pogba and Firmino. And also the defenders have very good defending stats. And up front, you have some very good players who are able to finish off your challenges easily as well. Pacey wingers, pacey players in general, very, very good team. Now then onto the custom tactics. I rarely mess with these. You can see that I've been switching around between these 2 formations with this team. I'll show you the 4-3-3-1 first. These are my defensive kind of tactics. They're just basic, really. Same for the offense. The only thing I changed is I think this one and the lack of players in the box when it comes to corners and free kicks. Then in terms of instructions, what I have on my fullbacks is actually balanced attack. That's because I do at least want to have some skill runs going with my fullbacks, and if I have them on stay back whilst attacking, I can't really like try them out, you know. So yeah, I just have them on balance, and for me anyway, it feels very decent as well. Then my center mids are on balanced attack as well. Usually I have at least one player on stay back whilst attacking, but also in this team, it didn't feel necessary, to be fair. Then Neymar as my cam, I do have him on stay forward. And yeah, I think I sometimes mess around with this one as well, like get into the box for crosses, but yeah, sometimes I just don't, because I don't like to have that many players inside of box, because it's always just too crowded, and I've been in situations where I try to like shoot on goal or something out of a difficult position and I just hit my own player basically. So yeah, I kind of try to stay away from that most of the time. Then my wingers, I have them on cut inside and basic defense support as well. Same for the right wing. And then as my striker, I do have actually this one on get in behind. And yeah, defensive stat basic as well. So those are usually my instructions for the 4-3-3 attack. Now, as I said, usually one of these on stay back whilst attacking if I have like a player which isn't a 5-star skiller. And the same for my fullbacks. I have them on stay back whilst attacking if they aren't players that I want to attack with. So yeah, one of my favorite formations in the game, basically. I'll show you guys the 4-2-2 one as well. Then for the 4-2-2, they're pretty much the same. You can see that they're the exact same actually as the 4-3-3. And then yeah, in terms of the instructions on the players, again on the wingbacks, I just have them on balanced attack. I do, however, in this formation have one CDM on stay back whilst attacking. That's because one of the cams is now a striker for me. So I feel that having yeah, too many players forward will kind of put my defensive line in danger. So I always have at least one player kind of staying back, and that is in this case Pogba. Yeah, then on the wings we do have Rashford and Saint-Maximin, who are basically on basic instructions in terms of defensive kind of work, and then get into the box for cross. And then on the attackers, the 2 strikers, we do have get in behind on them, and that is basically it really. So again, this is the team. Let me know your thoughts if you have used any of these players, especially the defensive players, because those were the ones I really wanted to make a video on. Let me know your thoughts on where you kind of use them. In a different team, I did use Amavi as a CDM, used Lucas Hernandez as a left back, and in that team I also had the 88 rated version of Desai. I used him and Koeman as my center backs basically. And yeah, that worked out really well too. That way you are able to get a little bit more out of your defensive kind of 5-star killers, and are a little bit more secured in your back line between the center backs. So yeah, again, let me know your thoughts about this team, if you're gonna try it out or not, and also again your thoughts about some of these FUT birthday players. I think it's really cool what EA have done. This is definitely turning out to be one of my favorite promos. I've seen that some people don't really like them, but to me as like one of the few content creators out there that kind of likes to have fun with the game rather than just constantly tries hard, because yeah, that's what FIFA seems to be all about right now. Yeah, I try my best as well to just have fun with the game. Sometimes you do have fun, sometimes you just can't stand it. I think everyone is in that position, but yeah, especially with these kind of players, it definitely boosts up the fun factor for me in Ultimate Team. Anyway, guys, I really want to thank you guys for watching. If you, of course, enjoyed, subscribe if you have not already. Drop a like, would be greatly appreciated. And also make sure to hit the notification bell for more videos like this. And yeah, as I just said, if you want to see more videos like this, then let me know in the comments down below as well. Would be appreciated. Anyway, that's the end. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.